Hello, my lovers, and welcome to episode 20, season 2 of the Prosperous Yogini Podcast, our January 2025 episode. And I have called this episode My Biggest Mistake in 2024. And it might be a little bit, if I'm honest, a little bit of a clickbait title for you all, because I could take it as a mistake. I could take it as maybe even a failure. Actually, retrospectively, it worked out exactly how it is meant to have worked out. And before I dive into the story of like perhaps where I feel I did make genuinely got it slightly wrong in 2024, before I dive into that story, I want you to just take this on board. Every time something hasn't gone according to plan, something hasn't worked out as I had planned it was going to work out or hoped it was going to work out, like almost always in the long term, it has worked out exactly how it should. So if I didn't quite get as many people as I wanted to into a certain program or a certain event or a certain course, then retrospectively, I'm like, yeah, that worked out. Or if something wasn't bought at all, it's a complete flop, a complete failure, I then later on think, well, I'm glad what was I thinking of? And you know what? Something else, something better came along, or actually what I was planning to do, didn't really want to do anyway, or wasn't going to work. And perhaps my subconscious higher self knew and wasn't behind this energy of selling it. So I don't really like to say that things are failing. I just think, what are lessons learned? If I had a plan, and the plan is like, here's my hypothesis. This is what I hope is going to happen if I take these. So if I put this offer out there, put these and take these certain steps, and then if it doesn't go according to plan, what can I learn from it? And even if it goes according to plan, what can I learn from it? I love to be almost all the time in test and learn mode, whether it's a new program or whether it's an old established program that I know really well, that I know sells, that I love delivering. I am always asking myself, um, you know, can this be done differently? Could this work for a different type of learner in a different setting? Would the energy exchange, aka what I'm putting in and what I'm getting back, could that be improved? Always be in test and learn mode and be compassionate. When we view that we've failed, you're allowed to be annoyed, you're allowed to be upset, you're allowed to be disappointed. And I think it's great to be frustrated, annoyed that you feel like you wanted something to happen and it didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen. Use that not to label yourself as a failure and I'm not meant to do this and this is works for everyone else and not me. Use it to think about, okay, what can I learn from this experience? And that leads me nicely nicely into today's topic, which is probably, if I had to look back at 2024 and think, you know what was my sort of like biggest mistake or biggest regret is probably a better word for it for 2024 was I I grossly undersold my new program, Energy Mindset, Money and More. So as you will know, if you're an avid listener to the podcast, in 2024, I separated out sort of like my two main offerings, yoga teacher training, all those wonderful courses, online and in person, still exist under the umbrella of Amy Yoga. And then I've taken my business mentoring for female soul-led entrepreneurs, not just yoga teachers, into a separate business, a separate company, Amy Jones Mentor. And I am very passionate, very passionate about. I think business needs to be done slightly differently, particularly for perhaps us women. But I think this is, energy is everything, whether we're male or female, or however we express our gender. I think all of us need to begin to work more in this way. Let the energy lead and let that inform your action. I think for a long time, and I'm guilty of this, like guys, dive back and re-quote me if you want. Can't remember what episode it is, but I talk about mindset is everything in the 80-20 rule. Mindset is 80%, the rest is action. Or I know I've famously quoted Denise Duffield Thomas's quote, mindset is everything, the rest you can Google. And to some extent, like, yeah, mindset is really, really important. But what are we trying to overcome the mindset? Is the mind something to be overcome? Can the mind even be overcome? are we referring to the mind, or are we referring to something a little deeper, the nervous system? And when I talk about energy, I am talking about like two things: the tangible energy, the nervous system, which for those of you that need a little bit of like, come on, Amy, energy, magical energy, subtle energy, what are you talking about? Then part of what I'm talking about is definitely the nervous system. The nervous system response, how our nervous system has been programmed, and all the things that come into the mix of our programming within the nervous system, all our experiences, all of our childhood upbringings, experiences, societal expectations, all of that comes into play on how our nervous system will respond to certain things. Plus, just our genetic personality, our predisposition to respond. I always say this, what one person's sympathetic nervous system response is another person's parasympathetic nervous system response. It is all relative as well. But the nervous system plays a massive role. And I know you see a lot nowadays, business coaches, business mentors talking about the nervous system. I just like to here for, if I may, having been a yoga teacher for over 15 years now, and all my training and all my experience, I have been working with, talking about the nervous system balance, regulation, energetic balance for the last 15 years. And I learned pretty soon, when I started to really get my head in the game of this business stuff, that everything that my yoga teaches me is also applicable to how we run our business, that we need to work with the masculine and feminine. We need to work with the yin and the yang. We need times when we are taking action, when we are going for it, right? When we're doing a strong vinyasa class, when we're lifting the weights, when we're going for it in our business. And then we need times to rest. We need times to be quiet. We need times to reset. We need restorative yoga. We need yoga nidra. We need meditation. It is the same in business. It is the same in life, but this is a podcast about running a business if you're a soul-led entrepreneur. So I shall stay focused on that. Anyway, so as a business mentor, my sort of like USP, what I come at it with is like, I can give you brilliant strategy. Like, having been self-employed for 15 years and had a successful in-person business and a successful online business, and done everything from working one-to-one, retreats, training programs, courses, online courses, live online courses, self-led study courses. Like, honestly, I've pretty much done it all. Look, I love building a funnel as much as I love running an in-person event. Like, I have such a huge, diverse range of resources in terms of strategy. One, because I like, actually behind it all, I'm a little bit nerdy. I love the data, I love the tech. This has definitely been since COVID, but once I've got into it, I'm really into it. I love like website design, website layout, the power of a call to action button, power of copy, the integration of AI. Oh, listen, I've got the strategy and I can give you a strategy, but I'm very, very passionate about the strategy is only going to work if it's energetically aligned for you. The strategy is only going to work if it's what you are energetically behind, if it's what you're meant to be doing. And what we need to do far more of, along with the mindset work, along with like noticing how our belief system, our programming, and you notice there's a careful choice of words there. I just want to let you know I am playing around with not using the term self-limiting beliefs. Because what we focus on expands. What I label myself with, I become. And if I say, oh, there's another one of my self-limiting beliefs getting in the way, I'm such a rubbish person, why have I got all these self-limiting beliefs? What if I am far more compassionate to myself? And I think about, well, every human being, we are the foundations of our, of our core is our belief systems. And where do we get our belief systems from? Well, our upbringing, our childhood, our societal expectations. I'm going to say, ancestral experiences, maybe even past life. Like, we can go on here, but, it's a diverse range of things that come into the mix that really impact our belief systems. And yeah, some of our beliefs may very well be holding us back from stepping into our full potential, taking the actions that we need to be taking. So yeah, mindset work absolutely has a place. But I know for many of us, and I'm included in this, 4 years we did the mindset work. We did the labeling our self-limiting beliefs. I've done podcast episodes on them, and I'm not saying I'm moving away from this, but there's that imposter syndrome. Everyone has imposter syndrome. Yeah, they do. But how can we learn to live with her, make peace with her, work with her, not against her? She's there to keep us safe. It's not true what she's telling us, but she is there, potentially as a little voice of reason sometimes. I may have spent too much time talking to my imposter syndrome. Anyway, yeah, the mindset work has a place, but I know for many of us, me included, we did all this mindset work when identifying our self-limiting beliefs, positive affirmations, journaling, and still not wanting to take, or still not taking the action we need to take, or still when we're taking the action, it's just not feeling right, not getting the results we want, or we're feeling overwhelmed, or we're feeling like we're doing too much, or we're feeling like we're having to work really hard, or we're beginning to feel burnt out. An overwhelm, burnout isn't necessarily that you're working too hard. It can be that you're doing too much of the stuff that you don't want to do. And you can be doing too much of the stuff that is not meant for you. In recent years, as you'll know, I've found human design. I'm not a human design expert, but I do know a very good one. My wonderful human design coach, Finny, who now, to be honest, comes into a lot of my group programs, and with all my one-to-one clients moving forward now, Finny does an in-depth reading with them, in-depth analysis using our new software that is not available free online, I have to say. And I get to use this data, and the human design map is very much for me this energetic map of your energy, what you're here for, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, working with your energy map. And this is where we're starting to feed into the energy. So we've got the nervous system and how the nervous system responds. So often when we're working like with just the mind, we're not necessarily listening or observing the response in the body. Is there a like that gripping, that holding of the breath, and that deep inhale? Not to mention, that feeling of being a bit nervous, a bit fearful, is also very, very similar to feeling exciting. Like the nervous system response is very, very close. Learning to recognize perhaps the difference between the two. And I'm not I know sometimes we have to challenge the nervous system. We have to feel the fear and do it anyway. We have to take those stretchy, scary moments, but we also can't do that all the time. So that advice to just feel the fear and do it anyway works at the right time for you when your nervous system is ready to tolerate that level of stress. It is eustress, not de-stress. And this is where my yoga training and teaching and understanding of the human body comes into my role as a business coach. And it literally is one of my superpowers. Anyway, and then the other thing with this subtle energy is I genuinely am talking about the stuff we cannot explain. In Chinese traditional medicine, we have the energy of qi, and qi you cannot put into words. It cannot be explained. If you have seen Kung Fu Panda, when I forgot Master Shifu is trying to explain to, I forgot the panda's name, the panda that likes the noodles, that's Kung Fu Panda, try to explain to him like what qi is. He's like, you can't explain it. It just is. You have to get quiet. You have to get still. You have to feel it. And this is the magical energy that I am also talking about when I'm talking about your nervous system, when I'm talking about your human design map. Yeah, these are energies I'm talking about, but I'm also talking about the energy of the unseen, the energy of the universe, the energy of source, your higher self, your wisdom, like inner wisdom, whatever you perhaps call it, that guidance, that inner guidance. Like, I don't really mind what name you attach to it, but we often don't give ourselves, first of all, opportunity to listen to it. When we do get that guidance, that nudge, we often are, for a variety of reasons, not taking action on it. We we don't trust ourselves to take the action because perhaps society, other people's expectations, our belief system are leading us away from what it is we're meant to be doing. And another one of my superpowers that I want to claim, and I'm really stepping into this year because I've been a bit hesitant, and it's something I've done for many years. I'm can you hear, I'm like, if you're not watching on YouTube, I'm now scratching my head because I'm literally just going to claim it, but I do feel like keep listening, guys. With a pen and a paper, whether it's my notepad and pen or an A1 a notepad and a ball pen, I can listen to someone speaking about what it is they want to do in their business, what it is they want to do, what they want to create, and it just comes out what it is they want to do, and it's the right action for them. And I guess it's going back like a good few years ago now, before I was like, I'm a business coach, and I was on a call with my trainee teachers, and the lady I'm talking about unfortunately is no longer with us, Loretta, and I was doing this for someone, and she was just like, Amy, you are so good at this. This is just, you're downloading this. Loretta says you are downloading this from somewhere else. And, at the time I laughed it off, but it always stuck with me. And the more I do it, the more I'm like, now with my one-to-one clients, if I'm doing, in-person group stuff, like I have my ball pen and my A1 flip chart with me everywhere I go, and I go in person. And when I'm working one-to-one with my clients, or like in group, even in my group trainings, I'm my A1 notepad out, and if I am like one-to-one hot seat coach, working one-to-one or group hot seat coaching, I'm writing, and I do feel like it's co-creation. I am using my intuition, my knowledge, my epic business strategy, and I am like the go-between. And here's the thing, I feel like I'm the go-between between you and the universe. I'm like, you want to call the universe, you're struggling to get a clear line, I can be your clear line until you tune into your clear line. And I'm just saying it now on the podcast, I am going to start to step into this role a little bit more, start to claim it a bit more. I'm holding off fully from using like I'm channeling, because I don't feel like I'm fully channeling. I'm not channeling angels or other beings. I just do feel like it's guidance coming direct from source, that source wants them to hear. And I am with my pen and my notepad, I am able to be the go-between between you and the universe. And that's definitely one of my superpowers, be it a little bit weird. Anyway, so I, as part of my new business, was like, I want to have a foundational business course. And I downloaded the title Energy, Mindset, Money and More. It is the name of my course. I think one day it might be the name of a book, but watch this space. But I felt like that title encapsulated everything that I want to work with. I want to work with the energy. I want to work with the mindset. And I want to help you make more money. I want to help you do what lights you up and make money. But it's so much more than that. It's like, you cannot put it into words. It's like cheese. So that was the name of the program, my foundational business program, like one of my core programs that I will have in my new business, which will be for people like perhaps new into their business or been in it for a while. And they've done all the things and they're just like, this has not worked out, and now I'm completely burnt out, I need to do something different. Or those people that are like, relatively new in business and want a bit of extra guidance. Anyway, so of course, because I'm a generator and I'm addicted to working with projectors, and I seem to just have so many projectors that I love to work with, I gathered up my 3 of my projector buddies: Vinny, the human design coach; Vic, the sound healing voice activation coach; and Helen, the hypnotherapist and breathwork coach. And I said to them, I've got this idea for this program. It's going to combine like business strategy. I'm going to do like 5 sessions on like foundational business strategy. If they get behind these 5 key things, like honestly, it's just going to work for them. I want you guys to sweep in and do all this magical energy work. I'm going to do some magical energy work as well. There's going to be a weekly affirmation, meditation or restorative yoga breath practice as part of the practice that I'll release each week. Our closing circle is going to have higher self meditation, restorative yoga. It's going to be like a business course that, full of strategy and full of woo-woo magic. Are you in? And they're like, yeah, hell yeah. So this happened back really April, May time last year in in 2024. And I was working with Lucy Sheridan, my coach, and like I put together the 8-week program. She helped me not make a monster. It was a lot longer to start that one, like, and like, and I put it all together in the summer of like 2024, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I paid the wonderful Louise of Hello Designs to produce, to be honest, to date, my best looking like sales page. I planned the launch. So all of this is now happening in like June, July 2024. It's all completely, by the time I get to school summer holidays, like I am ready to go. I've got a stonking sales page. I've got a wait list ready. I've got a free launch event. The energetics are selling. I've got like the best beautiful looking opt-in page for that. I've got my Facebook ads all lined up. I paid my Facebook ads manager to get the, like, literally I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing because everything is amazing. I don't know why I'm singing, but can you see how everything was amazing? I've been working on this for April. I had 3 stonking amazing projectors as my, co-cheaters. I literally had gone all in on everything looking like top notch, copy top notch. Honestly, I was like, yes, check me out. And then we go into some holidays. And if you have kids, you will know like the 6 weeks of some holidays is a little bit of a black hole. And of course I am focusing on like the kids, and then like what are like the strip back, but what are the main things I need in my business. So yeah, absolutely, to start seeding this course is coming, and draw people to the wait list. And then the kids go back to school and I go to Switzerland, and they're amazing. Honestly, my first international training course, yin course in Switzerland, swam in Lake Geneva, had like simply like one of the best times. First time I ever flew in a plane without my kids. If you listen to whatever podcast not that long ago, my word for 2024 and the story of my quantum year, yeah, that was a big thing for me. Anyway, it just so happened while I was in Switzerland, I was also meant to be launching the free event, the energetics are selling. So you can see, perhaps like retrospectively, I can see now, I might have been a little bit distracted also, that this is really important about human design, right? I'm a generator. So at the time, June, July, like I was so excited about this course, right? And then there was a break, and then I got distracted by other things. And then when it came around to actually do the thing, to launch the course, I was still like, yeah, I really like it. But the energy of excitement had fizzled out a little bit. And not to mention, on the day that I was due to launch the course, which I still went ahead and did it, which was my birthday, the 23rd of September. So this is now launching the actual program. My little girl probably had like the worst I'm not going to school day, and I had the worst I can't do this anymore moment. If you're not sure about the backstory of my little girl, year 5, so she's one of those COVID reception year 1 kids. She's definitely found going to school tough, definitely. And there's a big degree of school anxiety and getting to school, and we go through phases, and there are people who have it a lot worse than I have it, but it's definitely been an ongoing problem for me, and I'm full-time responsible for my daughter getting to and from school, and it's sometimes it can just feel a lot, while I'm also like full-time responsible for my businesses. Anyway, so it all came to a head, and I nearly didn't launch the program, but I went ahead with it. And given the circumstances, I did a pretty good job, but I didn't do a great job. And that's my biggest regret for 2024, because the course was, excuse my language, fucking mind blowing. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what have we created? And actually, Vic, Helen, and Finny were the same. We were like, after their one workshops, they were like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. I love that workshop. And what was beautiful about it was like Finny, Vic, and Helen, we didn't get together and like pre-plan what everyone's going to do. So there would be like common thread between it all. They all very much did their own thing. Obviously, I asked them, here's the topic, but you know, they ran with it. And there was this beautiful common, like Helen described, like a golden thread. I said, look, you've got to watch each other's workshops. You've got to see how you are all singing from the same hymn sheet, yet saying it from a different map. And this is one of my like things that I like. Everyone goes, this is the way. This is the way. I know the answer. This is the way you do it. This is the map. Human design, astrology, the fascial map, the musculoskeletal map, the map of the nadis, the chakra system. I could go on, the meridian lines. I could go on. We don't want to be here all day. But there are many maps, one energy. And the way we're going to connect to our energy, to this, to the unseen, to the stuff beyond the physical, the way we're going to connect to that is going to be unique to us. So we've got to just stop saying like, I've got the answer, I've got the way, this is the way. Like, no, my way is the way. Can I be the person that guides people to that? Can my energy, mindset, money, and more course be the course that guides people to that? And I want to just say, hell fucking yes. And so people did say yes. I had 5 people come on, and actually one of them ended up paying an extra and being a one-to-one client. So you know, it wasn't what I had planned. I think I'd aimed for 10. So, and it was like close call in terms of like, at one point I was like, well, there's one person on this course. And the problem is, because I was paying Vic and Helen and Finny for their workshops, you know, I needed a couple of people to like make it worth everyone's while. It took a while. I didn't get those numbers until right at the end. And definitely within like the sort of like first 7 days of the open cart period, I was like, this course ain't going to happen. It's failed. It's a flop. And I think I found something deep within me that was like, no, I really want to run this course. Like, it wasn't just that I paid for Facebook ads, I paid for free, paid to drive people to my new list, my new business. I paid to have these beautiful websites, this beautiful logo, and all of this stuff. I was really passionate about this course. I know it's needed, but people just want to be like, tell me exactly how to post on social media, tell me exactly how to make money, Amy. And then I'm like, wow, yeah, I can give you this strategy, but don't you understand, when you energetically align yourself with the flow of money, when you tap into source and get guidance directly from there, things will just happen. You will know exactly what to say on social media. And yeah, you've got to have a sales strategy. You've got to take some actions, and I give you the sales strategy, but unless you're energetically behind you, and energetically behind the products, and energetically behind selling, and energetically behind your prices, all of this is covered in the course. The strategy ain't gonna work. You've got to stop just wanting strategy. And I didn't communicate that well enough at all. I did not communicate it well enough at all. And I think it's a real, not that you would ever do this, but if you wanted to dive down into my grid on social media, it's just reminding me, I must reshare this on my grid and on my stories. After the first call, so module 1 is you are the product, and I got these 5 wonderful women in the call, and actually what we went through was all their experiences. And I knew all these women. There was one new woman and the rest I knew, and one of them was a woman I'd known for many years as a Pilates teacher, and she went through everything she'd done. And I was just like, look, I had to say sorry. I was like, look, I've known you for years, but I've only known you as a Pilates teacher. I did not know that about you, and I did not know that about you, and why are you not sharing that? And like we were all quite taken aback, almost like, God, I am that. They left that call going, I'm amazing. I've got all this experience, all these qualifications. When someone comes to a Pilates class with me, that's not, they're coming into my energy, they're coming into all this experience. This is what A, makes me unique, and B, why I am needed. And I got off that call and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, more people should have signed up to this course. This is the message that people need to hear. And I went straight onto Instagram and recorded a video, which initially I put onto my stories. I was like, I'm going to put this on my grid, which just said exactly that. Like, I've got something really great here, and I'm, actually gutted that not more of you said yes to it. And I was definitely in that. I'm a bit gutted. Not more of you said yes. That was a little bit my vibe. Once the cart closed, retrospectively, now I've got over that little tantrum, I'm like, I didn't communicate it. I just did not communicate that this is a business course. Okay, this will give you all the strategies you need on, building out your offer suite, what to post on Instagram. I mean, I gave people bio feedback on their Instagram bios. We all upped our bios. I gave them their content cake strategy, and I gave them individual feedback on exactly, what they can post, the pillars of their content, whether you want to call it cake or pillars or whatever they want to say. I helped them create a strategy for content, so it wasn't an individual bespoke strategy. Oh, I did so much. I helped them build out individual offers. I reviewed their prices. Like, I showed up so much for these 5 people. And the results were mind-blowing. And and the workshops just were like a whole nother level. Finny taught us about basically what our open and closed gates mean, our open and closed, energy centers, in terms of human design, what that means on how we will relate to money. And that was like really useful for all of us, including me. Vic came in, and I said to Vic, Vic does sound healing, and she's previously been a radio presenter. And I was like, look, Vic, you're really good at speaking, you're really good at presenting. I want to do like a voice, finding your voice activation. What we didn't realize is Vic was going to come in and basically touch deep into our soul, work on all the reasons why we are out of balance in our throat chakra. That goes right back to like those childhood days when we were told to be quiet, be a good girl. Like, we were all in floods of tears. Like, and it takes an awful lot. It doesn't take me a lot to cry when I'm watching a film or by myself, but it takes me an awful lot to cry when I'm at work. You can count it on one hand when I have like actually gone and Vic got me, not because of me, but because of what some of the other women were saying. And it was just like so deep and so raw, but so needed to come to the surface. And then she all made us feel better by doing a sound bowl healing. And then Helen, and this is all on Zoom, and then Helen came to finish with, I thought, like, gosh, like, how is Helen going to follow that? And she came and did this wonderful session on like actually how we can work with those physical responses and what that means about the nervous system, and then how we can just really smart, short breath hacks which help to regulate the nervous system. And it was just all of it was mind-blowing. And then the closing circle, like I said, had a higher self meditation and restorative yoga. Like, we wrapped it all together. And like, you might be like, oh, so great reviews. Look, great reviews. Everyone loved it. But you know what probably stands out? The story that stands out the most for me is one of the ladies that signed up to the course is like a massage therapist. And she, in recent years, really trained in like face massage, face work, and then face yoga. And obviously, she's like my age, mid-40s and late 40s. And one of the things, she's got beautiful skin and a beautiful face. And one of the things she needs to do is share the before and after, share her face, share her routines. And she's known this. She's known this for a good few years, right? It took this program, and this is going to sound crazy, that this program and working with all the work with through this program, for her to do her first reel of her face yoga massage, and like, in terms of engagement and response, like, it was incredible. And it was like this, this is what you're meant to do. And she did this was while we were on the course, and like we're on the call after she did this reel, and I was like, I saw that reel. Yes, yes, yes. And she's like, I've wanted to do that for years and I've not been able to do it. And you're like, that for me is completely it. And then the Pilates teacher that I was talking about before this story, I've recently seen her. She's an actress as well, and a brilliant actress. I didn't know. I literally didn't know. I didn't know how brilliant she was. And she's literally started to really embody showing her up as an actress, a body worker. And she posted a 2-minute like little video of like her in role of, this character on social media the other day. She would have never have done that before doing this course. She was hiding. She's no longer hiding. So yeah, my biggest regret, my biggest mistake was not understanding what my energy mindset money and more course was really about, grossly underselling it. And also, this is like a really important point, guys, for all of you, particularly if you're selling an online course. But to be honest, if you're selling anything, right, it's not really a nice to have. Now, that's not true of like a retreat experience. It's a nice to have, right? And retreats, spa days, like people want nice to have experiences. When it comes to like business and business courses, nice to have are not selling. Okay, it's not 2020, it's not 2021 anymore, right? It's 2025, and people want very tangible. If I work with this person for this set amount of time on this course, what is going to be the results? What is going to be the outcome? And probably because I'm working with this energy that is hard to explain, that then giving myself a little bit of due here, that it is like, because it's a little bit out there, it is hard to explain, but I didn't explain it well enough. And I definitely didn't, drive home at all, really, that this was a business course, that you're going to get a ton of strategy, that these are the things that I will be doing for you. And like, for those of you that are yoga teachers and you're listening to the podcast, and look, body workers, fitness, Pilates teachers, you will know exactly what I mean when I'm going to say this. Sometimes you have to get them through the door with what they think they want, and then they find out what they need. I used to do that all the time. Yeah, vinyasa yoga, it's a strong, powerful class, build strength and flexibility. Come along. That's true. It's strong and powerful, and you will build strength and flexibility. But I will go touch beneath the surface, and you will begin to find out things about yourself and question the meaning of life, right? there it is. So I'm still doing it, just now in a business course. So to finish today's podcast, I want to just say, first of all, be very, very clear on what you're selling, what it is the outcome. So it's either what is the program promise, what are you going to be able to do by the end of this program, what have you achieved, or if it's not quite, what's the experience, what is the emotion I'm going to get by having this wonderful retreat, spa day, whatever the experience that you're selling. But be really, really clear, make it clear why I need to invest. And I need to up my game in terms of like messaging on all of that, and get it out in front of more people, perhaps. So this is my like sort of like podcast play. I'm not sure when you'll come across this podcast, because it depends when my husband publishes it, but that's between me and him, and you don't need to get involved with our marital agreements here. But the cart is closing. I think it's Monday the 3rd of February or Tuesday the 4th. Okay, so we are starting our first live call. It is Thursday the 6th of February. Oh, that was another thing, actually. I chose to put the calls on a Monday evening at 7 o'clock. So I was like, you know what, that's when most people could make it. And like, actually, I then learned as I was running the program that I didn't really want to do Monday evening. It was fine, and it did it, and it was fine. But I was like, yeah, next time I run this course, I'm going to do it in the daytime. And I did my review and renew freebie masterclass thing before Christmas on a Thursday at 1 o'clock. And I did it because I was like, that is the best time for me. And loads of people signed up to it. Loads of people turned up live. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to run my live calls largely on this time. So, do things the way that work for you. Get really, really behind what you're selling and be very, very clear what it is, and repeat, repeat, repeat. So I'm sorry if in the next few weeks you're like, oh, she goes on about his energy, mindset, money, and more, and you're seeing all my marketing, fair enough. If you've listened to this podcast and you're like, you know what, Amy, you're right. I'm doing all the things and I'm knackered and it's not getting the results I want, right? Come and do this course. Come and do this course. It will totally blow your mind. One of my favorite sayings is definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if you've been following a content strategy, if you've been following a selling strategy, if you've been following a marketing strategy, right, and it's not working out for you, right, or it's working out for you, but it's quite a lot of work and you can't see how you're going to keep it up, can't see how this is energetically sustainable, come and do this course. If you are like, relatively new in your business, first couple of years, and you want to just start from this from the beginning, which is stuff I wish I'd got on board with when I first started, right? I've been doing this and stepping into this in the last couple of years, and it's changed my life and changed my business, and it makes me so excited about what's to come because it's a practice. I'm just going to get better at this, getting energetically in alignment, following guidance from my higher self, the universe, and then taking aligned action. Anyway, come on as well, come in. It is an 8-week program. Numbers are capped at 12. So if you come across the link and it's a wait list, join the wait list. If you come along and it's a sales page, sign up. And after the cut closes, we'll be back into waitlist mode because this course is one of my foundational courses. It will repeat again, I can say throughout the year, at least one more time this year. Who knows how else it might emerge, but definitely one more time in the autumn, and maybe let's see, who knows what someone's going to bring. All right, my darlings, so links will all be in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to me, letting you know how basically I got really, really excited in summer, put it all together, got heavily distracted by the summer holidays and going to Switzerland, then lost my generator excited energy, didn't quite sell my brilliant course well enough, was hacked off that not enough people bought it, even though it was my responsibility to sell it, then delivered a course and realized it was significantly better than I was expecting, that we had created magic. So next time round, I would have to up my game. So this is me upping my game, guys. So come on in this time round, or next time if you come across this podcast at a later episode, get your name on the wait list. You know what, even if you are super experienced in your business and you've done loads of masterminds, worked with loads of high-level one-to-one coaches, I think everyone should come and do this course. Everyone should come and do this course because this is how we need to operate in business, in life, so we can work in a way that is energetically aligned with where we are now. Because let's be honest, that changes as we age as well. That is a topic for another podcast, I feel. And on that note, I will see you all next month.